Dion podcast. We're doing something different today. I am here with the Doif, and we're doing Power Ranger recap. Starting from the beginning because, Doif, why are we doing this from the beginning?
So I am a longtime Power Ranger fan. Been ever since I want to say I was like 3 or 4 years old. I have
Doif,
never
why are we doing this from
seen
the beginning?
every single episode of Power Rangers though. I am my like personal history. I want to say it. I was saying before to you before we started that I'm pretty sure that my first season was Dino Thunder, but I remember like a vague memory of like it seemed like a magic themed episode of SPD, and then suddenly the Sixth Ranger shows up, and it's like I'm not sure if this was my first memory of Power Rangers or my first memory of just SPD.
Okay. But you haven't seen every episode, so we said, like, why
I
not
have
just
not.
go all the way to the beginning?
I was going to, and then when I was younger, I saw the how many episodes there were of the first season, and I was just like, I'm gonna try the other stuff first.
Wrong thing to do, because you need to go from the very beginning. What was
I
that?
have. Oh, hey, Coco.
Oh, Coco's here. So yeah, Coco joined, and she's joining us halfway through. But yeah, what were you saying, Doif?
Um, I with my first. Oh, geez, where I lost track. Oh yeah, every Disney season. So we're watching this, and honestly, out like every episode we've seen so far of the original Mighty Morphin, except for the pilot, has been good.
Or except the pilot?
I look, it's like I'm not gonna judge the pilot because it was the first Power Rangers thing ever.
Yeah.
It does not age well at all.
No, not at all. So was
And
that. We're gonna
let's get in.
do the pilot recap and all the way up to episode 4. And Doif has taken a lot of notes because he's the Doif.
Oh yeah, I got really into this, so like I wanted to be prepared. So I wrote like 5 different pages of notes. They're small ass pages, but still. So first we got the pilot, which is like just a short ass 15-minute episode. It's kind of like Day of the Dumpster. Like sorry.
Right, Coco?
I'm sorry. Are we doing the Twitter space or?
We're doing the Twitch thing, but you can put it on your Twitter space if you want. I'm already recording it on the Twitch and then uploading it later.
Okay. I mean, I think you get more audience there too.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you want to do it on the Twitter space, you can do it.
Does it? Wait. I'm sorry. I'm not like on your recording. Does our audio pick up on your stream?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Well, then let me invite you then.
All right.
Let me set it up and I'll invite, but you guys can still talk.
Okay.
So the pilot is basically the same as like the first episode of the show, Day of the Dumpster, aside from pretty much like it's same and like it's similar and different at the same time, because I've seen Day of the Dumpster a bunch at this point, just because it's like one of the most important episodes of Power Rangers history. It's like if you were to go back and watch An Unearthly Child or from Doctor Who.
Doctor Who, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like you don't necessarily have to, but it's one of those things you can watch that's just like, you know what? You started one of the biggest things on the planet. Gotta pay my respects. And that's kind of like what this pilot feels to me. The cast is almost exactly the same, except for the casting of Trini.
Yeah, the original Trini was Audrey Dubois.
And I have to say, I'm impressed by her performance. Like, Trini has always been sort of like, I'm not going to say she's Diet Billy, but she's always been the one to sort of translate what he says. So she's always been just like, I'd say like the in-between of like, nah, I don't want to do that to Trini. She's awesome. I'm not going to diss Trini at all, though, because like for the longest time, she was my least favorite member of the team as well.
Yeah, like when I first started watching it, like Trini wasn't my favorite, but now that I'm older, like, yeah, she was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat too. It's because I always found her like, no offense to the actress at all. She did a great job. It's just out of the original five, I found her personally to me the least interesting.
Oh, okay. So Coco sent a link, so you might as well go there, and because they'll hear us. Yes. Wait. Oh, hold on. Wrong one.
The
Hello.
Power Rangers has a
Okay, let's
tendency to
see.
use like the same three
Perfect. And
bloody
then what
sets
else
over
was
and
there?
over
So the
again. And one of them
pilot,
is a bloody quarry. Instead of the
Hello. Oh no, what did I do? Sorry, people. Technical difficulties. This is live. We're doing it live. Oh no! What did I do? Oh my god. Oh my god. Where did it go? There we go.
Rita and her crew.
There we go.
The unique thing about Rita and her crew in the pilot is that it's like their roles are undercut. The voice for Rita is both slightly different yet pretty much the same as it always is. Finster's voice is the biggest fucking what the hell you'll ever see because it's completely different from what you hear in the show itself, and it just sounds like gravelly villain voice.
Yeah. It was like by Robert Axelrod as well, so like he was doing things here.
Oh yeah, and then I don't know if Skull shows up, but
no, it was just Bulk.
it
was only Bulk
there's like
first.
a big bully fight with the 5 teenagers, the original team and original Trini versus a bunch of bullies, and one of them is Bulk with the craziest hairstyle I have ever seen him rock in my entire life. Like, the dude looks like that one clown from Cyberpunk 2077 that has like a grenade in his nose.
You mean VR Troopers? Or do you mean VR Troopers or no?
It's absolutely ridiculous, so 90s, and it's so entertaining.
You can hear me, right?
Let's see, what else do we got here from my notes?
Oh yeah, what the hell is going on with Zordon? Or sorry, Zoltar.
Yeah. Hey, what you think of Zoltar?
I'm going to talk about that with you guys. What do you think was better, Zordon or Zoltar?
I always like Zordon. What did Malcolm?
Zordon. Like,
okay, good. That was an obvious question. Cause I'm just thinking, why they go with Zoltar at first? Isn't that a name of like a genie or something?
Bro, it was only the pilot. You don't have to question things.
Zoltar. Hey, yeah, it's literally like a fortune teller machine from like way
from
back
the movie
when,
Big. From the movie Big. Hello?
Interesting. Oh, you know, it kind of looks like the thing from Big. Anyway,
you've seen the movie Big, right?
It just it completely threw me off.
Wait, hold on.
And the design for Zordon is like everyone makes fun of. Oh
no, I don't think they can hear me. Oh my god, what is going on? Technical difficulty, folks. Technical difficulties. What is going on? Hello.
Okay. And then everything, it just like legit feels I'm not going to say cheaper, but it legit just a prototype of everything. And seeing where the putties originated from too, the design is there, like it's still the same putty design, but you can see some aesthetic changes, like their mask or their face makeup is slightly colored different, and I think some of the outfits they wear are slightly different too. Some aesthetic changes.
Let's see.
And then of course there's the other stuff that's in that, but I want to save the main stuff that Power Rangers is known for, not by mentioning in the pilot, but with Day of the Dumpster. When I get to that in a second. Last thing I want to mention about the pilot is the design for Alpha.
What you think of
It's not
Alpha?
good. I think he's rocking like a mini mohawk too or something.
What do you think it was designed though?
It's just like, look, Power Rangers, you're already the most 90s show on the planet. Adding a mohawk will just give you unlimited cosmic power.
But the mohawk is like the alternative. It's the like, I'm against the norm. So
Ooh. What is going on? I don't know what's going on.
one of those where it was oh, I'm sorry. It was one of those where it was like whoa, what the heck?
You okay? What's going on?
What's going on there?
I keep inviting humanoid to speak and
Hello.
it keeps coming back out like he's not able to speak. It's weird.
Oh my god.
You accidentally reported him or banned him.
Because he was connecting twice. No, but like, I mean, with the '80s, it was all about punk. Everything was punk. If you weren't in the pop and R&B hip hop scene, you were part of the punk scene. And so, seeing a mohawk, it's okay, especially in the '90s.
Oh, big time. Like, I think back to one of the most 90s horror movies I've ever seen, Return of the Living Dead, where, like, one of the characters is legit just called Trash. And her boyfriend is, like, full-on punk, like, green mohawk, or I think it's green. Green mohawk, leather jacket. And he's like, "What do you think this is? Some stupid costume? No, this is a way of life, man." And it's just, that is pure 90s. And it's like, that is like the adult version of the 90s, seeing that out like craziness and seeing what I can best describe as the Saved by the Bell era of the 90s, where it was more colorful than like the late 90s, where it was like they decided to get rid of the colorfulness of the early 90s and just replace it with gray and black. Let's see. Okay, so I am going to move on to the pilot now. Episode 1, Season 1, Day of the Dumpster. I've probably seen this at, like, how many times do you think you guys have seen this episode?
Too many times. Too many
I
times.
can't count.
Like, it's
Yeah, so much technical difficulties. I'm sorry, people. It's like it's live. It's live. Yeah.
The last time I saw it.
aside from this morning, or like literally like an hour or two ago, and I want to say yesterday, it's been a good minute for me too. It's like I'll go back to it every now and then, especially now that YouTube has every single episode of Power Rangers.
Thank God, because one, Netflix had the seasons up to like what, Megaforce at least, or up to like Dino Charge maybe,
I
and
want
then
to say they were updating it.
yeah, so I think it was up to Dino Charge, and then or Ninja Steel, whichever one, and then
Say
Hasbro
they were
acquired
updating it.
the rights to Power Rangers, and immediately Netflix was like, okay, we're gonna take Power Rangers out. And
Ugh.
the last season that I was watching on Netflix, because I was doing a marathon. The last season I was watching was Lost Galaxy, and Netflix took it out, and so I was like, dang, they still have Mighty Morphin Power Rangers on there, but like I was like, dang, like I really wanted to like just go through and watch. Like I seen every season except for the Nickelodeon era, the Neil Saban era. The only seasons that I've watched in Neil Saban era was was the Mega Force seasons, because one, it was the anniversary for the Super Mega Force, because they were bringing everybody back because of the Super Sentai. So I was like, okay, let me see this. Okay, so that's why I was watching that one. And yeah, like right now, in terms of like how I'm watching in chronological order, Humanoid, what is going on?
Oh, is he still having trouble?
I don't know what's going on. Like,
Maybe it's because he's doing his stream and
but
yours
it
at the
was
same
never a
time.
problem. Okay, so with Humanoid, it was never a problem before because he had it on Twitch before, and he was doing Twitter.
Hello.
And like,
Hello. Hello.
get done with it. But I'm so stuck.
Hello.
Like,
I can hear me.
even
There you are.
yes.
Oh, finally.
Oh my
Okay.
God.
All right. I don't know what happened there.
So,
Okay.
but yeah, but like Mystic Force in general was like, I don't know. I was like, back in 2006, I was 18, wasn't even tripping about Power Rangers like that anymore. I'm an adult, right? So I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I was like, okay, I'm bored of the season. I'm not getting back into it. That's
Mystic
it.
Force. Yeah,
But now,
it can do that.
yes, and
That season's awesome.
currently I'm still stuck on Mystic Force. So again, when I was trying to like, I'm trying to like go through the whole freaking franchises. So
Yeah.
You made it. You're getting close because you're in the Disney era, so you're at least halfway.
I thought you
true,
were.
but Mystic Force. I know we're talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers right now, going through the first 4 episodes, but like Mystic Force, the way how the story is,
It's a chore to get through.
it's based on the Red Ranger, and everything's about the Red Ranger. And no offense to Faraz Durrani, aka Nick,
Yeah.
because Faraz Durrani, the actor, like he's cool as fuck. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
was
Yeah. A lot of
so
these actors.
ecstatic when he popped up in Hacksaw Ridge.
I was surprised. I go like, holy shit, that's Nick.
He is cool. He is cool. So, but like at the same time, I was like, this, like, it's not interesting to me. It's like Harry Potter, all this, and it had like,
Yeah.
and back then everybody was, it was just.
I think in the original Super Sentai Magi Ranger, they're actually a family, like all 5.
Yeah, they're a family.
Which I think would have been nice to see because we have never had a Power Ranger season where like all 5 Rangers are like related.
Still
So
nothing
I
yet.
think even before Mystic Force, in terms of like family, in terms of like family, like the only thing that was like brotherly was Hunter and Blake from Ninja Storm, even though they're not brothers biologically. You know what I mean? In terms of that, right?
I want to say Mystic Force did it as well, actually, kind of.
Yeah, because they had the sisters. It was the sisters. But like the last one before that was Ninja Storm, I think. And
what was Ninja Storm when Coda showed up at the end?
No, Ninja Storm. Ninja Storm is the one where Blake and Hunter came in. And
Ninja Storm. I thought you said Ninja Steel. Sorry.
No.
Thunder Rangers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crimson and Navy. Other than that, I think that was it. And maybe if you want to count Andros and Corone.
Yeah, you count that. They're brother and sister.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you want to count that, but like.
Oh man, we just spoiled it for Malcolm. He hasn't seen his face.
I knew the twist. Okay, I watched RPM. I knew the twist.
Watch RPM.
That's such a burn on RPM because if you think about it, they legit just ripped off In Space's twist for the whole tonight. You know what? No, I'm not gonna. Anyway, episode 1, Day of the Dumpster.
Yeah. Day of the Dumpster. What notes do you have for Day of the Dumpster, sir?
I have 2 pages of notes.
Jesus Christ.
But one of them literally is okay. So the first note is just a whole page, and I just wrote "Go Go Power Rangers" for the theme song.
It's a good theme song. It's a great theme song.
So yeah, I think it goes without saying that "Go Go Power Rangers" is one of the greatest theme songs ever created for any TV show ever.
I don't know. Dino Charge is up there with the best theme song because like the guy singing it was pouring his heart out.
When you think of Power Rangers theme songs, the first thing you think of is "Go Go."
Oh yeah, of course. You think of that, but I'm just saying, Dino Charge, the singer, was singing his heart out. You can tell. It's like, God damn. But let's going back to episode 1.
Okay. So the first is, of course, those bloody astronauts we never see again, finding the dumpster, and Rita and her crew pop out. And I said this before, but Finster here is probably one of my favorite monster creators, and it threw me off completely with the voice they had for him in the pilot.
Yeah, because it was a different
And
voice, and then they got the right voice in episode 1.
and it just he feels more intelligent with the voice. Like it just beforehand he just seemed like a typical angry villain, but this is like he's not necessarily angry, he's more
Sophisticated.
intellectual,
It's
but still
intellectual.
evil.
Yeah. It's like in the pilot episode, you talk like this, like, "Hey, we finally got free of this, ah!"
Yeah, he's like, after 10,000 years we're free. He literally does the line from the opening of the show.
Yeah.
And then let's see, you got Rita and their crew, they escape, and then we have the original team. The original 5 Power Rangers that just I honestly think they're probably the most iconic team of the
They're
show.
they're
Like
the first one, because you got Austin St. John as Jason.
it's
My first
Austin
crush,
St. John.
Amy Jo Johnson. No. I meant my
That's
first
a good
crush.
first crush. I'm not gonna lie
Amy-
to you. Austin St. John's a
No.
good first crush.
What? Sure. No, my first crush, Amy Jo Johnson. Kimberly. Everybody's favorite crush.
Everyone's.
And then we got
Mine
David
too.
Yost as Billy. And then we have Walter Emmanuel Jones as Zach. And rest in peace, Tui Trang as Trini.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Tui train.
Tui Trang, that's what I said.
No, you said Tui. It's Tweet.
No, they say Tui.
No.
Or is it Tui? I don't know. Tui Trang.
I thought it was. Anyway.
It's Tweet.
Tweet.
Say Tweet.
Tweet. Okay.
Damn.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
No, but like, I as a kid growing up watching it, like, no offense to Amy Jo Johnson, because she's cool, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like, because of the fact that Kimberly was like so popular with the girls, like, I was like, dang, what about Trini? So
Yeah.
I just stuck with the Yellow Ranger every single season after Trini. Like, I was making sure that, like, every time I hear a girl or even a guy, they're like, "Oh, it's all about the Pink Ranger." Blah blah blah. It's all about Kimberly. It's all about Kimberly. It's all about the Pink Ranger. I'm like, no, it's all about the Yellow Ranger. Yellow Ranger is cool. Yellow Ranger, she's better than the Pink Ranger. Like, I was like that as a kid. I was like, so even to this day, even it doesn't matter what the new team is or
You always like the Yellow
incarnation
Ranger?
is. I always go for Yellow Ranger. Period. Even if it's a guy, I always go for Yellow Ranger.
Speaking of
Chip
guy,
is one of my favorites.
Speaking of guy, in the original Sentai, the Yellow Ranger was a guy.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
but you know how long that took me to understand that the majority of the scenes are adapted from the Japanese
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
show. I didn't know that either. Like,
I didn't know until years
I
later.
was like, why is the Pink Ranger only has a skirt and not the Yellow Ranger? Like, hello,
Yeah.
they're both girls.
Right.
So I was just like, what the heck?
I didn't even discover the existence of Super Sentai till I'm gonna say that one episode of Dino Thunder.
I didn't know Sentai was a thing until like years later when I quit watching Power Rangers, and then I went back to watch it. Like, wait, there's a Japanese version of this?
I'm thinking by maybe Lightspeed Rescue.
Yeah.
Between Lightspeed Rescue and Ninja Storm is when I found out, like, oh, okay, so this is the Japanese show too.
Yeah.
And then I had to figure out the way how it's edited. Which one is the Japanese scenes? Which one are the Japanese scenes?
It's so easy to figure out because, like,
it's so freaking easy now. Of course,
the Japanese
then,
version is all grainy.
Yeah, when it's all grainy, it's all Japanese, and when it's like straight up like shiny
and beautiful, it's all American footage.
It's all American. So
yeah, it's like it goes from being filmed from Panama to being filmed on fucking Arrakis.
It goes to the mountains of the Japanese, Japan, and all that.
Well, and also, like, before they went to New Zealand, everything was in LA or
Santa everything Clarita. Was in LA. Yeah.
So. Yeah, so like it's easy to like film in the sense of like trying to like copy the Japanese part, but when you go to New Zealand, obviously everything is by the beach. Yeah, everything is by the beach, the rocks, cliffs. Yep, everything's by the beach. It's easy. It's open, more open than ever. So it's but like you can just tell like which one is which when it comes to like editing and shit. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, um, as the scene plays on, when we're introduced to the main five, we each get sort of like a kind of sort of non-verbal character introduction to each, because they're each doing their own sort of martial arts style, with Billy showing up the last because he's the most novice. He's
Mm.
like legit a beginner.
Yes.
And then you have Kimberly doing her gymnastics, which has always been like with flips and whatnot. To each, sorry, Trini. Words. I
Mhm.
can't remember what she was practicing. I want to say.
she's
Tai Chi?
she's
No.
yeah, Tai Chi is more. Yeah, Tai Chi is what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's Jason and Zach fighting. I don't think Zach is doing hip hop keto
Sparring.
here.
Sparring.
Not yet, not yet, not
Not
yet.
yet, but it's so good. And then we're introduced
To the
after
best
Billy shows
characters
up
in the show.
to the greatest characters in Power Rangers history. Boom, 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 boom.
Listen, Jason Narvi and Paul Schreier, like they're so freaking cool. Like
Yeah, they are. They
so
work
freaking
well.
cool.
They work so well together as a team.
Yes.
And their story arc of how they became later on is great. Like I told Malcolm,
They,
you're going to be in for a ride on their character development.
I know. I legit like I'm aware of their development and
But
some
you don't know how they
characters who
got there.
yeah, and some characters who pop up during their development, like the police captain from later seasons.
Yeah.
And then let's see here. But in the early days of Bulk and Skull, none of that big character development. They're just typical bullies here, but probably the funniest bullies in television history, in my opinion, because
Yeah.
bullies can either be completely grating or be really annoying and just like you don't want to see them.
Yeah.
Bulk and Skull to me never really get that way. Like they can maybe very, very rarely be grating, but half the time it's just like a smile gets put on my face.
Yeah.
I didn't like them at all when they were bullies, and then towards the third, I think the third season of Mighty
When they
Morphin,
became
I was like,
cops.
okay, yeah. Towards the third season, I was like, okay, they're cool.
Speaking of bullies, like the pilot episode of Bulk, where they only showed Bulk and not Skull. Bulk was more a serious bully, but he got his ass kicked by Jason with a bowling ball. That's so violent.
Legit just like threw him as a bowling ball with that.
Yeah.
Again, I'll mention it. The stupidest hair I've ever seen Bulk rock.
Yeah, it's like a Furby baby.
Anyway, so then we have Rita going to the name I didn't notice until Once and Always, Bandora Castle.
Yeah, Pandora's Castle, because they put it in there like the early days of Power Rangers. They tried to edit around stuff, but they couldn't get everything. Because like I said to Malcolm, in one episode, there's a little boy in a monster fight when there's Zords for like 1 second. He's just there, but in the Sentai version, he's the main part of the plot.
I'm pretty sure that kid, if it's like the pale, like all white kid with the cloak, I think that's Clotho from the original
No, it's
Green Ranger
just a
saga.
chubby little kid hiding behind.
Oh,
It's a chubby little kid hiding behind a tickle sneezer.
a what?
The monster's called the tickle sneezer.
That is the dirtiest sounding monster name I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah.
I don't know why Tickle season. It's like the pervy version of Tickle Me Elmo, like Tickle Me Caligula.
Yeah. Oh god.
What?
What? But you'll see it when we get that episode. I'll point it out to you. He's just there for like 1 second. Like he's just there. But anyway, continue.
Okay, so let's see here. So then you have the image of Bandora Castle, and then you have Rita, of course, with the amazing badly dubbed performance by I can't remember her name.
Barbara
The
Goodson.
actress's name.
The voice actress,
No,
Barbara
I'm not talking
Goodson.
about the voice of Rita. I'm talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
the
Barbara
actual.
Goodson. Barbara Goodson. The American
Oh,
actress,
really?
the American actress who voices Rita is Barbara Goodson. I forget
Oh
the.
no, I'm not talking about the American actress. I'm talking about Bandora herself,
Oh, the
Japanese.
Japanese lady, the one who died. Hold on, I'm gonna look her up. What was her name? Green Bandora. Keep on talking while I look this up.
She was great. I'm surprised, to be honest. I know, like, they had, like, I think
Achigo
maybe,
Soga.
I know they probably had, like, two, was it two different Ritas?
In season 2, they hired an American woman to play the American
I,
version because, like, they
I
put
don't
it.
think it was season 2.
Yeah,
I
it
think it
was.
was season.
No, it was
Okay,
season
wait.
2.
No. What I'm asking was that weren't they two other Ritas after the Japanese one?
Yes, that's what I'm
The one,
saying.
the
Achigo
one in the
So.
movie, correct?
Oh yeah,
Okay, so the one in the movie, and then the American one.
yeah.
Okay,
I
It's like
could
yeah,
have sworn I thought movie Rita was like the same Rita.
it's a different actress. Also, the voice of Lord Zed is different in the movie as well.
Oh
what
yeah, okay,
sex
I'm looking
is
it up now.
what? I thought Axelrod was it. I thought that was Axelrod.
No, that was somebody else.
Holy no, but like okay, so the thing is that I am I don't know when the Japanese one passed away.
2006.
Okay, so why couldn't they bring her over to do the scenes? You know what I mean? Like they could have easily done that.
What do you mean?
Maybe it's like because it was like in Japan, and like she was really like
Limited in
Ernie.
English?
Well, no, not limited English. I was also thinking maybe her age just made it harder for her to travel.
Well, she was 68 when she died.
Oh, only 68. Well,
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking if okay, so if it I'm sorry, but like obviously Power Rangers is a non-union show.
Yeah.
And maybe because of the union that is in Japan is preventing them to like exit the country for them to go and really act like that, you know. So I'm thinking maybe that's probably it. Even though Heinz
Yeah.
Saban was like, you know what, we don't really need her physically. We already
This
can get the
Saban is
scenes
a
and whatnot.
cheap. Saban. Let's not
Of course,
lie.
because it's
Like
a
he's a cheap
non-union
man. He's
show.
a cheap man who likes to.
But he
Yeah.
but he has to put all that money elsewhere. He has to
Yeah.
put the money towards getting the stock footage, getting the costumes, getting the writers, and you know what I mean. And like, I think most likely the actors is probably getting paid like what 1,400 at least if
They
they
were
were
paid
lucky.
like a McDonald's wage worker back in the day because Austin St. John said they got paid like minimum wage like a McDonald's worker, so like $300 a week.
So $300 per episode. That's what that is.
Yeah,
They were getting
jeez.
$300 per
and they had
episode.
no benefits because like they're not getting royalties off this,
Is that including taxes?
I guess, but they don't get
Like,
royalties
Yeah.
from they don't get royalties because they from their likeness because like they're not
So
non-union actors.
I'm assuming, like, because of the fact that it's a non-union show, like they're not getting W-2s per
Yeah,
se. They're probably getting the 199, the 1099,
well,
whereas like
independent contractors, so they gotta do something with
yeah,
taxes.
independent contractor or student. So that's probably
Yeah,
what that was.
yep.
Dang, that sucks. Okay, continue, Malcolm. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Okay, so still in the first episode, I will say while mentioning Bulk and Skull, I don't know if he does pop up, but I do want to briefly mention to probably the most lovable side character in the entirety of the show, and that's Ernie.
Ernie, rest in peace, Richard Janelle.
Yeah,
Rest
rest in
in
peace.
peace. I legit I can't think of a bad thing to say about Ernie. He's just like it's almost like he was like the sixth ranger before Tommy, just in personality, like as they're being their friend.
I wouldn't say a
Like,
friend. He's
well,
just the
well,
guy
no,
that.
I mean, like, well, no, I'd say he was their friend. He helped him out a lot. Like, didn't
Yeah.
Ernie help save Angel Grove?
When?
Yeah, he'll get the students and the customers,
Yeah.
you know, either safe in place gosh, I forgot the, you know what I'm talking
Ernie's
about.
Juice Bar.
Yes, or when they exit the juice bar.
Yeah,
You know,
likely jogging
like
outside the juice bar.
yeah.
Let's see here. Okay. And so yeah, just wanted to give a brief shout out to Ernie. And then we have I want to say it was like the big earthquake or whatever that caused the disruption that woke up the first mentor of Power Rangers and the first sort of assistant
To the mentor.
uh Zordon and Alpha 5.
Yes, indeed. And I
Uh
gotta
which
say, in the beginning episode, the first couple of episodes, early Alpha was cringe. I love Alpha, but he was so cringe in the beginning.
he tends to wind down in later episodes. I do
Yeah.
know that. Like I remember specifically in the one episode I remember seeing more than any other of the original Mighty Morphin, and that's Happy Birthday, Zach.
You just love that episode, don't you? You keep mentioning
I
it.
that legit, like I saw that episode like legit like 3 or 4 dozen times. So then the putties show up after the earthquake happens, and then the oh wait no sorry I'm jumping ahead. The not the putties show up. The Rangers, the 5 teens get beamed to the amazingly beautiful photoshopped House of the Book with the Vasquez rocks in the background.
In real life, that's a school, right?
I don't think it's a school. I want to say it was like a synagogue or I could be wrong.
Because I seen it on different shows. Station 19 had an episode with the command center in it, and it was like a cult. And then Brandon Rogers on YouTube went to the actual place where they filmed it, and it was pretty cool.
I wonder I wonder what it's actually like on the inside.
It'd be huge inside because it looks amazing.
Okay. And then right, and then you have Alpha 5 and Zordon introducing themselves to the 5 Rangers, and of course they think it's like, what is all this? This is ridiculous. And and then Zordon, who I gotta say, looking back on Zordon after all these years, it's kind of weird that like we Zordon is basically, I don't want to say he's like the Commissioner Gordon, but he's basically like the mentor of the show. Like
He is the mentor of the show.
like he's the creator of the Power Rangers, isn't he?
He founded. Ninja was the original creator of the Power Coins.
Oh no, I don't mean the Power Coins. I mean Rangers in general.
Yeah.
Unless maybe chronologically, because I have a theory. I have a theory that basically Zordon, he was a ranger before becoming the head in a jar or
Wait,
head in a
wait,
tube.
wait. Did you watch the 2017 version?
I did. I'm not counting that.
We're counting it
Yeah,
when we get to that. When we get to that, we're counting it.
No, because it sounds like you're giving us the 2017 plot of
That is not okay. So here's
Zordon's
my
origin.
theory. Here's my theory. I think I can't remember what Zordon's home planet is.
Eltar.
Eltar, that's it. Yeah. I think the first my theory is that the first Power Rangers ever, aka the first ever Super Sentai season ever, Go Ranger.
In
I
1973.
75.
75, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say it was 75, or no, it might be 73 cuz I think it was released 2 years after the first episode of Kamen Rider, which was 71.
Okay.
Okay. And then let's see.
But if you want to get to the full history of Sentai, the Japanese Spider-Man was the predecessor to the Sentai. Japanese Spider-Man has his own Megazord.
Oh, it's beautiful. But if you want to get technical, tokusatsu, the genre of monsters fighting dudes in suits or dudes in robot suits and whatnot, like Super Sentai, Kamen Rider, Power Rangers, all that stuff. Ultraman was the one that technically, I technically say Ultraman because it was like a TV show, but Godzilla is the king of the monsters.
Yeah.
Even wait, I wanted your guys' opinion. I'll briefly sidetrack here, but I wanted your guys' opinion on what was it? I probably have it in my notes. Yeah, no, I blanked. Sorry. So anyway, I'll just move on. We get the first appearance of the putties after the five teens decide to
The five
leave.
teams, the team.
Teens.
You're saying S. There's more than. Okay, yeah, never mind.
And then the design of the putties, it's both laughable, but also it's like iconic at the same time.
But better than the pilot version.
Well, they still make the same exact bloody noises.
And ever since Once and Always, I never realized they sounded like angry turkeys.
They legit sound like turkeys that have been kept in a cage for way too long, have been threatened with Thanksgiving on like a weekly basis, and have just had enough.
Yeah. So the putties, yeah, like they're pretty, like they're the first minions in the show in this version, yeah.
And they were the original like. Do you say goons, cronies, or mooks?
Goons, all of them, mooks, cronies, henchmen.
I like saying goonies, or
Goonies.
goons.
Hired
No,
goons.
it has to be cronies. It has to be cronies.
Goons.
Wait, why?
Goons. Hired goons. Hired goons.
Because you're making them seem like they're thugs.
Oh,
Wait,
hold
right.
on.
Yeah.
When? Yeah, no, that's a very good question. When has anyone ever taken the putties seriously?
These putties, yes. The super putties, no.
Well, we don't count the super putties yet. Those are one shot. Anyway, so then you. So then you have the putties squaring off with the five teens. Billy, of course, suffering the most, and we get it. I want to say this is the first appearance of Zach's amazing, beautiful
Hip hop
keto.
Yep. And I had to mention to you that, and you didn't realize this. Walter Jones is missing a finger in his left hand.
Yeah, I didn't know he was missing a finger.
Yeah, if you look at it, yeah, he's missing a finger on his left hand.
It kind of gets you thinking. What if? Have you guys seen Cosmic Fury?
No, not yet. I gotta watch it later on. Don't spoil it for me.
Okay. Then I'll just leave it at that. But anyway, I'm surprised that they didn't work, like him missing a finger, in the show. Like,
Man, imagine if they did. The kids would be like, traumatized. Like 9-year-old kids are watching this. Like below 9, like, Daddy,
okay,
Mommy, why does Zach have a missing finger?
Those same exact kids will have to deal with RPM in a few years. So toughen them up while you still can.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. And then, of course, you have like some basic fight scenes, but then, oh wait, no, I forgot to mention. Of course, they get the power morphers. Sorry, I'm jumping around a bit. They get the power morphers in the command center, but I'm going to talk about them here right before the first of many amazing sequences. Power morphers are iconic. I just want to briefly talk about them because we've had so many morphers over the years, and it's a relatively simple design, but I honestly think after all these years, it still holds up.
Yeah, I got it. The originals are always the best, but like I like the Zeonizers later. Yeah.
Zeonizers are really good.
And the Wild Axis morpher.
Of course, you'd like the cell phone morpher.
Yeah.
Or sorry, the flip phone morpher.
The flip phone. Yeah. It was 2006.
Well, here's the thing though. the other cell phone morphers do work. Like, they are good.
Like the
It's just that
Magimorphers.
the Wild Force one is not.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I heard you say it or not, but I think I heard you say Mystic Force, and that's one of my
The
favorite
Magimorphers,
morphers.
yeah, they're pretty good. Like I said, Mystic Force is not my favorite season. It's a chore to get through, but I like Korag and Phineas and the Solaris Knight. So that's the only reason I watch it for.
I like Gingy.
Oh, Gingy, I forgot Gingy. The four things.
Yeah, there is quite, and I will say Korag is okay. I can't start talking about Mystic Force, or I'll be here forever.
I know. So
Plus,
carry on with episode 1.
well, this episode is like, I think it's about to get relatively exciting because the 5 teens are pushed to the ground, and they decide right then and there they should use their power morphers, and then it's time.
It is the morphine time.
It's morphin time, baby.
But they
I was
don't even say
this
it though.
close to saying it's Morbin time.
It's Morbin time.
I fucking hate Morbius fans. Anyway,
Nobody likes Morbius, the movie.
Anyway, we get the lightning bolt striking down, and we get that iconic sequence that everyone, like, there's so many iconic sequences from this show, and it's like, this is one of the crowning ones in my opinion. The yelling of the dinosaurs, the colors, and just the pose. Oh, it's so iconic. I do like more of like the dress up in later seasons where it's like the outfits kind of form as the transformation sequence goes instead of just like show your thing and the suits are on. Like example, like I can't even bring up Turbo, but it's sort of like how they sort of fuse
Oh
or
yeah, they
like
fuse
just
themselves into it.
yeah, and they each have their own sequence. In the early days, you just got the name call, and then you normally get like a shot of, if it's all 5, you'd get a shot of Jason, sort of like the suit just being like grafted onto his body, and we get the Power Rangers, the
Yeah.
original team, finally. I think these are probably the most iconic Power Ranger suits you're ever gonna see.
Mm-hmm.
It's the like you never forget your first, but the thing is though, this show's been on for over 30 plus years, and yet people still, when they think of this show, they still think of the original suits, the original morphers, the original everything.
Yeah, Megazord,
Because
Zord, mentors, minions, villains, and all that.
it was just that good. And then we finally get the first of the cuts to Sentai footage. And then we get a relatively quick fight with, I want to say the first villain they fight in this show is Goldar.
Oh yeah, Goldar, yes.
With a really weird voice. Like, Goldar is basically the head of Rita's army, like soldiers and whatnot, because he's basically like his number one general or her number one general. But if you pay attention to him in the early episodes, he has this regular gravelly voice where he kind of talks all mean like this until he eventually sounds like normal Goldar.
Oh my, that's a good Goldar.
I really like Goldar.
Yeah.
Like I think Goldar is probably like my favorite of the classic like henchmen. I'd probably also
generals. You mean, not henchmen?
Generals,
he's a general.
yes.
He's a general.
I'd throw Zeltrax in there as well, but he's like Disney era.
Yeah, but he's a general nonetheless. But Goldar was the first general.
I hear snoring.
Kinda.
Okay, let's see. And then you have Goldar growing, of course, and then you have the beginning of the Megazord sequence. Like the fight, I do want to say, the fight scenes in this show is also some of the most, I'm not going to say iconic, but it definitely is some of the most refreshing of like kids TV of that time, because it's like a lot of kids shows were just starting to get tougher. It seems
In
like
93?
93, because I want to say 93 was like a big-ish year, because I know Power Rangers showed up around that time.
Yeah, it
I
started in
want to
93.
I want to say Batman the animated series started around that time too.
Oh yeah, Batman's the one where they started being darker for kids, but Power Rangers was still being lighthearted.
Batman, bless you.
Thank you.
Batman definitely Batman the animated series, but I want to say also what was X-Men.
Oh
X-Men
yeah,
was the other
X-Men
show.
as well.
That one was also pretty dark as well at times. Let's see. And then Goldar grows with the staff, of course, that Rita will throw over and over again in the exact same fashion because she slipped the editor an extra 20, so she does.
Link horror reference.
Oh my goodness! You got to be careful because too much pink energy is dangerous. Anyway, so then you
Yes.
have the amazing sequence of the Zord with the fantastic Ron Wasserman soundtrack again. Like
Yep.
I love the sequence. I love it.
it's so because if I remember correctly, they legit just used a toy
You use a toy for
for
every
the
of the
sequence.
Megazords, yeah.
Not when they eventually went to CGI.
No, but like around season 2.5, I believe is when they started using American footage for his Megazord fights. Because they actually had actors dress up as Megazords, make their own
No,
footage.
I want to say no. I want to say the suit actor fights were American, and that they just. I think that they only used Sentai footage for the Megazord fights because after season 2, the suits didn't match because.
No, I'm talking about the Megazord fights, like the Thunder Zords and the White Tiger Zord. There's certain
Yeah, that's what I'm
scenes.
talking
Yeah.
about because they didn't decide to just
Yeah,
give them
when we get to
the
season
Die Ranger
2.
suits,
Yeah.
which Die Ranger is the season after Jew Ranger, which
Yeah.
is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, in the Sentai. We're still on season 1. We'll get to that eventually.
This is the quickest Zord battle, by the way. I thought this one would be dragged out a bit, but we get the appearance of the Power Sword, and then just Goldar's like peace, and then just teleports
He
out of
goes
there.
deuces and leaves.
Oh my goodness! And then I counted the pilot as well, but for the entirety of this retrospective I'm doing, um, I have a headache counter for Rita,
Mm-hmm.
and so far by episode 1, it's 2.
And also, don't forget Fly Guy. I mean, Goldar's original name in the pilot was Fly Guy.
Yeah,
What
that
the-
was
What?
dumb.
Yeah, they called him Fly Guy in the pilot.
So, yeah, that was a definite weird episode, or no, not weird episode. That was a great episode of Power Rangers. And before I wrap up the first episode, I will say I need to mention the 3 rules of Power Rangers, which they don't talk about too often, but I'm pretty sure every single season of the show tries to follow the 3 rules of being a Power Ranger.
Only after
One,
Zordon left, and then they just said, screw the rules.
Number 1, never use your powers for personal gain. Rule number 2, you can never reveal your identity to anyone. I'm pretty sure that's rule number 3, but I'm just going out of order here. And then rule number 3 is never escalate a battle unless the enemy does so first. So there's your explanation for why they don't just take the Megazord over to Bandora Castle and just end the show.
Yeah, like Nostalgia Critic was like, I got a giant robot. Can I just
Yes.
squash him?
That's not very sportsmanlike.
Yeah.
And then just we get Alpha joking around, and the team officially making it official and officially being crowned the Power Rangers, and wraps up the episode there. Produced by Haim Saban.
Yes. And then we get to episode 2. High five.
Yes. So since that was basically just like set up for Power Rangers, I'm gonna go a little faster through these other episodes.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So, but not like super fast. So firstly, personal opinions on Day of the Dumpster. I love it.
The
It's
classic.
just it legit. It gives me the same nostalgia as like going back and watching like your favorite pilot, like just like your favorite pilot of a show again, just or your favorite first episode of a show, like going back and watching the first episode of Breaking Bad, or like um what's another really good example, like going back and like restarting How I Met Your Mother or Gravity Falls, just like
Like any
these are
show, you go back and watch it to see what you missed out on. Yeah. Hello.
okay. Oh, hold on one sec, I'm still here, sorry. And then okay.
You actually took
Season one,
notes.
episode season 1, episode 2, High Five. This is one of the 2 episodes when I was a kid I owned on VHS.
Really? All right.
Yes. And I remember the artwork for these VHSs being really cool, but also there being this really weird thing where first you see Trini on the far left slowly turning into a Power Ranger, and then on the other side you see her turn into a bloody saber-toothed tiger.
Sorry, what?
And yeah, it's just like visually you see it like almost like Animorphs.
Oh yeah, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, it looked really weird on the VHSs, and I'm pissed I don't own them anymore. Okay, so season 1, episode 2, High Five. This is like I'd say the first of the more serialized of the like where it mostly not serialized, episodic, where it's just like they will add stuff slowly with story over time, but this is mainly just like I wouldn't say filler, but it's like it's not like crucial story bits, I think. Hold on. Wait, no, there are. I forgot. These first couple episodes, even though the plots aren't like super important, they introduce some of the most important factors in like Power Rangers history. Like this episode, High Five, introduces quite a bit of like recurring things that will happen throughout the entirety of the history of the show. Like let's see. Well, first we'll start at the beginning. This is like a Trini focused episode, mainly about like fear and her like fear of heights.
Conquering your fears.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, each episode is drawn on the person that's like the main topic.
Yeah. It's like each
It
person gets
definitely
their own
And,
storyline.
and unfortunately, maybe I don't know, maybe it's true or not. Like for them to use stock footage from a film and to be quote unquote stingy or whatever. Wait, excuse me. Am I on a tangent? Wait.
Are you on a tangent? What? Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
what?
Yeah, each episode you gotta understand. Each episode is based off one ranger. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I will say we actually did watch the episode Teamwork like immediately afterward, and that was like you'd think they would have like as you're saying like the first 5 episodes or whatever be like character focused on them, but it's just that then they throw like that curveball in there, so it threw me off.
What the
And
team thing?
the episode 3 is titled Teamwork,
Teamwork. Where you work
and
as a team. But the
yeah,
second episode is called High Five.
yeah, High Five. And this is, I want to say, like the second episode of the original Mighty Morphin I ever saw.
That you had on
Funny enough, that's
VHS that
episode
you
2.
said.
Yes. And then let's see here. Um, of course, they're doing a spot with the rope where Jason's like trying to climb this rope to the very top. And then, of course, Bulk and Skull show up again and do a funny bit with the rope. And we get Immediately we get the cut to with the Rita guitar stinger that,
Da-na-na-na-na.
and we get more amazing Rita dubbing.
Yeah, the dubbing is always funny to look at. It's like, yeah, they're trying. They're trying.
They're really trying. It occasionally will sync up, and when it does, that's when it kills me even more.
But they always show her from the back. Like they have more lines when she's facing away from the camera.
So, but then during this episode, Billy decides to pull the gang aside and be like, "Hey, I developed these new devices to help us out," and he pulls out the fucking communicators.
Even though they teleported in the previous episode.
Yeah, it was that. Well, no, that wasn't the communicators. I think that was just Alpha
Zordon.
summoning them. Yeah,
Yeah.
Zordon summoning.
But if they can
But now,
summon them, like now they can actually go whenever they need to.
yeah, and for better or for worse, the communicators will become like one of the most iconic images in Power Ranger history.
Yeah, it was a good looking watch communicator. I always liked that design.
I always did too. I thought there was like a lightning bolt on the top there, but no, it was just like the lines.
Yeah, it looked really good for the time. Yeah, still does.
Okay. And then created by Billy, who deserves so much credit for creating so many important things in the show.
Billy is a mad genius, man. He's a mad
He
genius.
I know we like Jason David Frank. Tommy is probably the most important Ranger throughout the entire history of Power Rangers, but
But if it
I
wasn't for
honestly
Billy,
I think Billy might be a close second because he lasted the longest of the original 5 to stay in the show. His creations had somewhat of like the biggest impact, and it's just like he I it's somewhat of like I want to say like an
in the Coco
like
Cabana, she fell asleep again. Coco. Go ahead. Sorry.
um you made me lose my train of thought. Damn it, Andreas. Hold
Billy
on.
inventing stuff.
Oh yeah, Billy. I gotta mention this. It's in my notes too. Billy is named after Billy Brian Cranston.
But that was a couple like a year later.
Yeah, I want to say that was a year later. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
because
just
he only had a first name, and then they started calling him Billy Cranston. Because Brian Cranston was on a show playing a monster. And I don't know. He was
I'm gonna save this for.
Sorry, go ahead.
I'm gonna save it for the second season, but I want to put a note down for all of the last names of the Rangers because the only one I know is Billy Cranston.
Kimberly Hart, Trini Kwan, Zach Taylor, and Jason Scott. Jason Lee Scott.
Jason Lee Scott.
And Tommy Oliver. Coco! Keep going. Eventually she'll wake up.
Okay, so yeah, the High Five is a relatively chill episode in comparison to like what the past 2 episodes before, because like a good chunk of this takes place in like a rock quarry, or I want to say Vasquez Rocks, where um
They always have their battles
they
outside, like right outside the command center, even though it's not the command center area.
mm-hmm. And that's where we get the whole Trini climbing up is afraid and whatnot. And then we get what I put as a note, this dumb shit.
Yes, this dumb shit.
One of the dumbest things Power Rangers does is when they don't know what to do because they don't have any Sentai footage, or they can't like do the cool stuff the Sentai footage does, so they decide to do weird stuff like the human chain.
Oh yeah. Hello, Coco. You good, Coco?
Excuse me, sorry. Yeah, sorry.
I think you fell asleep again.
Yeah, I think I'm in my stuff. Are you still streaming, Humanoid? I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm still streaming.
Okay, so I'm going to end it here because I do have an interview in the morning. So
Okay. Do you
Oh,
want to
geez, yeah, perfect.
go
yeah,
back to the
thanks
lounge
thanks
then?
for my space. Sorry for the snoring, y'all. I'm
Oh,
just
it's no
saying,
problem. Back to the
but
lounge,
I'll do
Malcolm.
this.
Okay. Uh, uh,
Hello. Hello again.
okay. Here we are, back here again. Okay, just give me 1 sec to get it queued and loaded. Or not queued and loaded, just so I can put my speaker on. There we go.
Notice there's better audio quality on the Discord. But yeah, you said
Yeah,
this dumb
it's being
shit.
like a bit crisper.
Yeah, you said like this dumb shit, like the human chain.
The fucking human.
You said
Yeah,
this dumb
it's
shit.
being like the bloody human chain. It's
Yeah, you said
they're
like this dumb
trying.
shit,
It's
like
in
the
the
human
early
chain.
days, but they get that
You
done.
said this dumb shit.
And then there is some Sentai foot.
Yeah, you said
They're
like this dumb
trying.
shit,
It's
like
in murder monsters. Bones.
Bones, good old
And
Bones.
like he kind of looks like what they tried to do was like a sort of it looks like a Mask of the Red Death sort of looking like skeleton with the Spanish hat looking with the feather.
Oh yeah, like a
It
conquistador.
it almost seems like if you kind of pay attention to Jew Ranger, they kind of have like a mystical villain thing going on because they have like a minotaur, they have a sphinx,
They do
they
magic.
have
It's
like a
like
Spanish skeleton looking figure who might resemble Red Death.
well, Queen Bandora was more into the mythical magic stuff.
And so it definitely does make sense. But then you also have Killer Toy Rocket Ship in this episode, which fires the deadly seizure ray.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure the people in the rocket died in the Sentai. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that.
The thing is, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like probably because it has gone on for a while. I think after High Five, we'll take a break and then we can like pick this up maybe tomorrow.
Oh, we just got two more. Like you just go rapid fire. Like next episode, teamwork.
Okay. I will say I got a few more notes to wrap up here. Let's see. The Human Chain. This was I want to say this was there was no full-on Megazord in this episode.
In high five.
I want to say this was just a T-Rex fight.
T-Rex fight. All right.
And we are at 3 4 I have a headache counter.
I have a headache. Yeah.
And then I want to say this is when Billy dropped his Morpher too. You just randomly yelled out, "Billy's a bitch."
I love Billy, but he's a bitch in the early seasons. He turned out to be a great ranger later on, but damn, I love him. He's a nerd. He was a nerd like me when I started watching it. He's a hero of mine, but he was a bitch.
He grows with the
Yes, he does.
he probably is one of the best transformations of like the character of his character in the entirety of the show.
And like I said, not to be no homo here, but he has a good body. You don't see it until season 2, but this man is jacked.
The fact that you remember what season he shows up shirtless in already shows you do mean full homo.
Anyways.
I joke. I love you, man.
Yeah. Anyways, episode 3, teamwork.
Episode 3, yes. Also, one last thing. High Five was the first time, not the team said it's morphin' time, but Zordon said it's morphing time.
Oh, right, exactly. That's a cool thing.
Which I thought was part of the sequence. Like you had to say it to activate it, but no, you just have to say the animal name, because in later episodes you'll see like the other rangers just do it without saying it's morphin' time. It's generally like a Jason thing to do.
Yeah, it's cool to call out, but yeah, it's need to shout out. Well, later seasons they just say the call. They don't have anything in there to say what they have to say.
Mm-hmm. Episode 3, Teamwork. The I have a headache count does not go up this episode. We are introduced to the character of Mr. Kaplan, the principal,
Mr. Kaplan, very good.
who is talking to Trini and Kimberly here about don't pollute kind of thing. Like it's kind of like an environmental message, but in reality, it comes all around to teamwork.
Yeah, that's the main goal of this episode: teamwork.
So it does seem like they're doing like a team solo, maybe.
Team solo. What?
Like a solo episode focusing on a character, like a singular character, and then you'll have a more teamwork focused episode about the whole team.
Right. Yeah, that's how they usually do it. Because like each episode, it's a different character getting their own shiny moment, and then the team has to work together to figure it out.
Okay. And then Vulcan skulls show up again in this. They of course show up every episode, but I gotta mention this one because you called it out. They had a gang.
Yeah, for a couple of episodes, like they originally had a gang, like the girl and then some other dude later on.
I think they made the right call by just limiting it to 2 people.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird.
I can't imagine there being a third member of Vulcan Skull unless like, and I don't mean like a side member of the group. I mean like another like Vulcan Skull and like if it was Vulcan Skull and Spike from Samurai.
Yeah, Vulcan Skull and Spike. That would be great.
That would be a great team up. I would love to see like I enjoyed Spike.
I like Spike. He did a great job in doing Jason Narvy's mannerisms of Skull's mannerisms.
And plus, come on, we got to see Bulk, man.
Yeah, it was great to see him back again. But yeah, he formerly had a gang. He had an extra person. Yeah.
In a weird jacket with his initial on it, which kills me every single time. And then, of course, let's see here. We have the monster of the week in this one is the Minotaur with a club and a shield. I don't know if he has any particular set of skills, but
just a Minotaur.
Yeah, I think he's just extremely powerful. And then, Andres, you called this out, and so I'm just mentioning again. Apparently, Walter Jones, Zach, is missing a finger on his left hand.
Yeah, I said that in like the second episode.
Yeah, and it just, I didn't notice it until his hand was like underneath the table, and all you see is his stub.
Yeah, very true. I don't know if he was born like that or he lost it later in life. I gotta look that up.
And this episode is also when I started noticing this is like the sort of changing of Goldar's voice where it's like more aggressive and then it goes into classic Goldar.
Oh, Walter Jones lost his middle finger at age when he was 4 years old.
Ooh.
So he happened when he was 4.
See, that's why you don't tell people they're number 1 because they won't like it.
Yes.
I'm not saying that's happened. I like what happened again? Like what 4-year-old flips up its
unspecified incident when he was 4 years old. Doesn't really say what happened.
Okay. I'm curious. I wonder if it's maybe one of those things where he's sensitive about. Like if you ask him about at conventions, like he won't ask you. But I'm curious.
Yeah. So yeah, he hasn't.
So if I ever do meet him, or if there anyone actually is listening right now who knows specifically like what happened to Walter Jones's finger, I'm just curious. Because like honestly, until I find out, my headcanon is that he lost it in a near fatal hip hop keto accident.
He lost his finger in a hip hop keto accident.
It was one. It was one kip up too many.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it doesn't say why he lost his finger. I don't think he ever disclosed that information.
Mm-hmm. And then we do get a brief Megazord fight, but then it stopped because Zordon introduces to stop the Minotaur the power weapons.
Good old power weapon.
Zach's axe, Kimberly's bow, Billy's lance, Trini's daggers, and of course the power sword, or Jason's sword.
Mm-hmm.
And they're really cool. But I do gotta mention beforehand.
Your audio is kind of weird. Like, are you far?
Mine?
Yeah. Are you far away from the mic?
No, hold on. I might just be having audio issues. Hold on one sec.
No, there you go. Now it's good. Whatever you did there. Whatever you did there, that was good. Jesus. Oh, did you leave? Hello, sir. No, a little bit not good. Whatever it was before, it was better.
Oh, really?
Now it's good.
Okay, good. Let's see. Let's see my notes. Solo Zord attacks, specifically not just with the T-Rex. Like, the Triceratops shoots horns?
His horns, yeah, he shoots his horns, yes.
Chains, and honestly, it's like, it makes me think of my favorite MST3K quote. This makes no sense, and yet it's working.
I know, right?
Yeah, chains. The saber-tooth tiger has a tail laser. I think the Triceratops also has that as well. The Mastodon can just straight out like mist his enemies with ice, which is really cool. Pterodactyl has, I think, like lightning lasers, if I'm correct. Like pink lasers, which need to be careful because, again, too much pink energy is dangerous.
There's a simple explanation for that.
This is, yeah, it doesn't end in a Zord fight, which, like, for the third episode is like to do that straight out of the gate. It's like, it's probably best to do it straight out of the gate, so that way fans don't complain like, well, I want to see the Megazord. Why is it so early that we're not getting that crap? So it makes the most sense to me. And then this is just the last note I have for this episode. Zordon calls the 5 power team.
Yeah, that was weird. Listen, power team. What?
Yeah, that one was definitely the weirdest for me. And then we get the final episode of the night, a pressing engagement.
Yeah, episode 4.
This is a Jason-focused episode.
Yes.
Focusing on, yeah, the bench press record. Oh my god! Which is, by the way, 1,005 bench press, fucking like 1,005 of those bench press reps. His arms would be spice.
Yeah, be jello.
Like literally just grounded up into, and I'm not talking like from again Arrakis, which this is my second Dune reference of the night. I'm just talking about like literally like human.
Yeah, and also Bulk said that Jason beat his record. I don't believe Bulk did the record on the bench press. I need some sources for this.
I could believe it because when you have that much mass, Bulk is relatively, if you pay attention to his work, he is a big dude, but he's an active big dude.
He's a very spry guy. He can move fast.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. So So I got the Jason. His arms would be powder. Rita will get rid of Jason. Oh yeah, that the evil plan of the episode, where basically Jason Rita wants to get rid of Jason because he's the leader and thinks like he's what is holding him together. Then we get the monster of the week, which is probably the most memorable monster for me personally. A lot of people will say like the rapping pumpkin or like Eye Guy or even Pudgy Pig. But for me, I like when I think of Mighty Morphin, like one-off monsters, I think of King Sphinx.
I agree. Sphinx, just by design alone, is great.
It's just his design. His design is way too good to be a one-off villain. I think they should have kept him around as like almost like competition for Goldar.
Well, but in the Sentai,
they both have wings.
In the Sentai, they were actually brothers. Goldar and King Sphinx.
And so it just puzzled me that they didn't decide to do that here.
Yeah, I think like because of the Sentai version, King Spink's character dies early on. It's just Goldar's Sentai counterpart.
Let's see. This is the second time Goldar goes big, and it won't be the last because he, of course, let's see. Sphinx. So it doesn't go big just yet here. I don't know why for notes I just put Bulk Skull pants.
Pants, because he loses his pants. Bulk
He
does.
does lose his pants, and then of course right underneath I just put notes. Still funny.
Yeah, his pants are gone.
A few highlights of the episode, memorable moments that happened for the first time. If I'm correct, this is the first time that we hear Zordon say, "Let the power protect you."
Yeah, I think it was. Or did he say that in the first episode? No, he didn't. No, first one.
No, I don't think so. Which, if you know Power Ranger history, you know will become like just an iconic line for Zordon. Like "May the Force be with you."
Yeah, and that and once a ranger, always a ranger.
I like it when other Rangers say it, when it's actually valid, as long as it doesn't come from Operation Overdrive.
Hey man, I actually like that team up, but we'll get to it when we get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Then let's see, let the power protect you. And then I just put this here. Do Squad and Babu ever get in a fight? Like actually fight?
From what I don't think so. They're just there to be Babu and Squat.
I also put they literally, as I'm writing this down, they got clocked right in the face.
Yeah, but they didn't start a fight. They were just antagonizing Zack, and Zack just punched them in the face.
Just straight up.
Like it's hilarious. Like what? They just punched Squat Babu straight in the face.
Right in the fucking mouth. There is absolutely so much reused footage just in these first 4 episodes, and
oh yeah, you're gonna get used to that for the next 60 episodes.
I don't know if it's gonna be a bad omen or not, but
for the next 60 episodes, it's gonna be a lot of reused footage.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this is another little tidbit. This is the first time 2 monsters appeared big, like they grew big at the same time.
Monster size. Giant size, yeah.
Also, more, I'm officially calling this the lore corner when we get a piece of long-lasting lore that stretches through the history of the show. Power crystals.
That was introduced the first episode. I don't know why they introduced it here.
They visually show up in the first episode, but I don't think they came up with an explanation for them yet. Like, they had the Sentai footage, but they just decided to be like, no one will notice.
Very true, but they're acting like it's the first time they've seen it, even though they used it in the first episode.
I feel like this is more like not really explaining it. It's or not really like showing it for the first time. It's like it's their chance to finally explain it.
Oh right. But yeah, this is like
sort
the
of
first season,
finally establish the lore, because the power crystals, which was episode 4, they were introduced again, will have a very important history later down the line, since I believe they're listed off as fragments of the Zeo crystal.
I think so. It's been a while, but Zordon also says you can use the powered crystals to find each other, which they never do after this.
They never really do, or like maybe it's just like the power crystals are just GPS for the communicators.
Yeah,
it's like just hang it on the end, and it'll just point to where your friends are.
Very true.
Let's see. It's like Zordon says these are like the source of their powers. So my guess it's like it's what gives them their mystical strength, but it's like stored within them, because a piece of the Zeo crystal is what gives them the Zeo powers in Zeo.
Like 5 of the crystal 5 Zeo crystals give them their Zeo powers. Yeah.
So
5 pieces, but that's later on. You're jumping the gun, sir.
I am bouncing between notes because the series is ginormous and I can't go. It's like talking about Doctor Who, okay?
Yeah.
You can't go 1 second without running into buckets of lore.
Yes, exactly. Very true. I agree.
Okay, let's see. They go big at the same time. Power crystals. Goldar escapes for a second time. And at
Deuces.
the very end. And I don't know if like they ever do defeat him, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna see that footage of him just yeeting away.
I ain't saying anything, but we'll see that down the road. Because
So
you haven't seen it, have you? Like, yeah, you don't know how he perishes. Yeah.
not yet, no. But
Okay.
we finally get a we get the end of the episode, which is Jason finally realizing, like, with the encouragement of my friends, I don't have to do this alone. Like, a leader doesn't need to lead, I don't know, something like that. And of course Bulk is like, I'm gonna get my record back, and shenanigans, and episode ends. And that is the first 4 episodes of Power Rangers plus the pilot.
In conclusion, what did you think of it?
Honestly, it is such a throwback to go back to these first couple episodes, especially since with my personal history, I never saw the pilot or just suppressed it.
The whole thing in order you haven't seen.
I have not seen the entirety of Power Rangers in order, and so it's going to be a wild ride to go through the Zordon era, because Zordon era is my weak spot.
Yeah, but the post Zordon era, they're pretty good too, depending what season. Cough cough Mystic Force, cough cough Operation Overdrive.
Okay, no, you don't cough. Fucking, why do people dislike Mystic Force? Mystic Force is great. Like, yeah, it is the red show, the red green show.
Have you seen the whole full series?
I have. I love it.
Okay, but we'll rewatch it and you'll see why. But like I said,
I didn't mind the Korag twist.
I like. Oh wait, we're getting too far. We're getting too far.
I'm not talking about what happens, but again, this is a Power Rangers all-around sort of recap. So
yeah,
I will, for future reference to any other listener speaking, I will put a disclaimer for the episodes that we do mention. But if I do slip of the tongue
the slip of the tongue.
Of spoilers of future seasons, I do apologize. I'll do my best to make sure that does not happen in future episodes. But we will, in that moment, just like have a little like spoilers, and then we'll just say I'll probably talk for like 5-10 seconds, then I'll cut it off for you.
All right.
But it is just so good to go back to the original Power Rangers, and I'm looking forward to the next episode, because as I've been talking about it this entire podcast we've been doing, Happy Birthday Zach is going to be next one.
It's not the next one.
No, it is. It's going to be, well, I don't know if we're going to do 5 or 6, because like we did do the pilot. So if you want, we can do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. So yeah, because like you gotta
Mainly
get to your
because if we stop at 9, I'm just going to be nagging you. Let's do happy birthday Zach.
Because you need to see your happy birthday Zach, because you constantly talk about it.
It's personal, you know. It's like, yeah. I never grew up a lot with the original Mighty Morphin show, as you did, Coco did, and I want to say Andre as well.
I'm pretty sure I grew up with the original one. I stopped watching during the middle of In Space because I was getting older and I was thinking like, I'm too old to watch this, even though I was still like 16, 17 at the time.
But you stopped watching at In Space?
Halfway through In Space, I didn't know how good it was going to be. I was like, yeah, no, I was young, and then, dude, it was the 90s. Hold on. Wait. Hold on, let me explain. It was the 90s. Nerd culture was not accepted at that time. If you were a Power Ranger fan, you were ostracized. So I was thinking back then, it's like, I'm too old for this. I can't watch this. But now,
you know what? I agree with you. I actually, when you put it like that, I will actually rest my case because, not for Power Rangers, even though I was made fun of that for a lot. I was surprisingly made fun of a lot for just superhero stuff and not like the obscure stuff like Four Bushman or like or which is a guy who has a pot on his head.
Yeah, but now the nerd culture is more accepted now. You can actually enjoy this stuff.
Exactly. And it just like because all I did was like Batman, Superman when I was a kid, but I was ruthlessly bullied, and that's probably why I kept Power Rangers to myself for so long as well, because it's like it's almost like being made fun of for liking movies, and then it's almost like Power Rangers is the like professional wrestling equivalent of like kids TV shows. It's too out there. It's
Yeah.
too ridiculous.
Like I said, I stopped watching when it was in space, and I came back when it was Wild Force, and I realized like they're still doing this thing. What?
I was watching, I want to say, I occasionally watch the odd episode of Mystic Force on TV, but mostly I saw the DVDs or I bought episodes of Mystic Force online. During this was like late 2000s, I want to say. And then there was what was after? You had Mystic Force, and then you had Operation Overdrive, which it was Operation Overdrive, Jungle Fury. I want to say those two specific seasons is when I discovered Jetix.
Oh, good old Jetix.
And
Or Fox Kids.
Yeah, like Fox Kids or Jetix for Canada or Australia, I think, or New Zealand.
It was also in Canada.
I would
Fox Kids, yeah.
I would purposefully wake up even earlier than I normally would because I discovered when Power Rangers was airing, and I was following the new episodes of Power Rangers that were being released at the time, and I remember specifically it being Jungle Fury and Master Fant showing up.
Oh yeah, Master Fant.
It was Master Fant and Master Finn because the Master Swoop episode, for some reason, wouldn't, I didn't see it when I was younger. Like they just showed like a recap of it.
Damn, all right. But yeah, like I said, I came back when it was Wild Force, and then Dino Thunder came out. I go like, holy crap, Tommy's back! What?
Dino Thunder was my very absolute first season. It's either that or SPD, but I'm gonna say that it was definitely Dino Thunder, because when I think of when I think of Power Rangers morphing sequences, the very first one I think of is like the Dino Thunder sequence.
Because you grew up with that, yeah.
It almost feels like it's definitely a throwback season. It almost feels like what they're going for is like a gritty, like an actual gritty Power Rangers show that is not like the movie where it's like gritty. I'm talking about just like a Power Rangers show that has some darker tendencies, particularly with Mesogog. But I'm not getting to that.
Yeah. So was that? Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. So I was gonna say I am done now.
All right. So is that ends the podcast for Power Rangers recap. Join us next time. Who knows when that will be for the next couple of episodes, whenever we're free. But yeah, hopefully you liked the series. And with that, the Doif is out. Oh, sorry, Doif. What? Say your goodbyes.
I want to say my goodbyes, and to anyone who's listening right now, may the power protect you.
Right, and I'm Humanoid, and I'm out, and yeah, Operation Overdrive wasn't that bad, is what I'm thinking.
It wasn't. And it wasn't that bad, and neither was fucking Mystic Force. Have a good one, guys. Bye.
Bye.